It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Raiders and the Birds, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
On 1st and 10, Cunningham. He'll hit Jackson complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cunningham to throw. Being chased out left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Cunningham. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. But Charles, first drive here, a little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball. But you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd down now, Tony. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. A play fake. Now Cunningham. And he works his way past the... It's 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt, and this one is no good. He missed it, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Second and 2. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone. Pound
the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd and 3. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Underneath to Allen. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Really talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick here is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Come on now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Let's go.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a first down coming up. Cunningham looking to throw. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now Cunningham. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Here's Cunningham. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They start the drive with a give to Allen. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. He'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Christensen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
They'll run on 1st down. Allen. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
On 3rd down, Allen. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's Christensen. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now Cunningham. Right side caught by Jackson. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Working with his 2nd and 4.
Operating from the gun, Cunningham. That one caught by Carter. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Carter.
Good work,
Now the
boys.
Eagles
Let's
will
go.
use the 2nd of their
Let's go.
timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again.
That's complete to his running back, Carter.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll get you down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the 2nd half is now underway.
And we will not have a run back here as the 2nd half starts with a touchback. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll look to throw here. Flush to his right, and he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Christensen. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down. It's Allen. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the stream, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Cunningham from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. That is going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Cunningham to throw. He's got quick. 7 yards, the pickup there.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
A very important third down conversion right there because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cunningham. And that is incomplete here.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Cunningham. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And this one is right through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Allen. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They stay on the ground with Allen. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
That's it, baby.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Throw left side complete. That's Christensen.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. This is Allen. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So now the Eagles down by 2 touchdowns. 1:55 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. On 1st down, it's Cunningham. Over the middle, complete. That's Carter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. From the gun, Cunningham. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Cunningham. Got his man over the middle. This is quick. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Cunningham looking to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Completes it to Quick. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throw right side complete to Carter. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Cunningham. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Snags it for the pick, and the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way